Concerns are growing that the Western Australian government's Keystart housing program is raising interest rates to 8%, trapping low-income people on home loans they can't afford. Highlights: Keystart provides low-deposit loans to help low-income people buy their own home. Keystart provides low-deposit loans to help low-income people buy their own homes. Concerns rise as state government initiative raises floating interest rates to 8%. Concerns rise as state government initiative raises floating interest rates 8%. Keystart failed to secure a spokesperson. Meet on Friday. Launched in 1989, Keystart is designed to help people enter the housing market by providing low-deposit home loans that borrowers can later refinance when they pay off a portion of the loan. Loans are only available to people whose income does not exceed program limits, and there is a cap on what a person can pay for their property, depending on where they live and their household. For example, a single person in the city of Perth would have an income cap of $105,000 to purchase a $560,000 property. But politicians and community service providers say the program's approach to interest rates may be working against low-income lenders, who are already vulnerable to cost of living pressures. Southern Metropolitan Greens MP Brad Pettit was among those who voiced his concerns. "I think it's untenable to have 8% interest rates," Pettit told ABC Radio Perth presenter Nadia Mitsopoulos. "Ultimately, it's a government invention. It has some good elements. But I think there are serious concerns for people stuck with Keystart loans." The variable interest rate determined in the program, which will come into effect on April 3rd, increased by 3 points in less than a year. Brad Pettit says the government needs to reconsider the way Keystart handles interest rates. The Reserve Bank of Australia set the cash rate, which is the rate at which banks borrow money, at 3.6% earlier this month. Westpac and Commonwealth Bank currently discounted floating interest rates as 5.14% and 5.34%, respectively. According to Keystart's website, program uses average of floating interest rates of 4 major banks in Australia to determine interest rate. But Mr. Pettit said structure of the program needs to be reconsidered to ensure borrowers don't fall into trap of paying off loans they can't afford. Maybe really reducing that margin as interest rates rise, because otherwise the danger is that it forces people into situations where they cannot afford the loan and have to sell, he said. And that actually undermines idea, the good things about Keystart, and why it was created in first place. The central bank has set the interest rate at 3.6%. Louise Giolito, chair of the WA Council of Social Service, said the higher interest rate applies to people who are already under financial pressure. "They are going to be impressed," said Ms. Giolito. "We're going to start seeing people going out to support food and emergency organisations so they can make their mortgage repayments and keep the roof over their heads." Keystart CEO and spokesperson Paul Graham was unavailable for an interview on Friday. Keystart's website describes the organisation as a temporary lender that encourages its clients to refinance once they have enough equity in their homes. He also explains that interest rates are not the lowest on the market, but rather a policy that ensures us to manage our lending risk responsibly. Melanie Every, CEO of the WA Association of Certified Public Accountants, said there are free financial advisory services that people can turn to for advice. The sooner the better.